She's solving mysteries in the night. Chasing shadows, finding answers, shining bright light. No one's left behind in the darkness, all alone. With a heart like a siren, she brings the lost ones home. Silent cries in the dark no longer have to be, for justice wheels keep turning, granted on the beat. Broken voices find their power, call out hope again. When these crime busters run, no victims left in pain. Bravery in her veins, truth she won't disguise. With a fire in her eyes, she's got nothing to deny. Credit fights for justice, never backs down from the call. For the voiceless and the missing, she'll stand tall.
Hello, hello, everybody. How is everybody doing tonight? Hello, Ginger Girl, Noni. Good to see you. Anybody else that's in the bushes there? Factory Girl, hello, hello. Good to see you. It's another beautiful day here in Wisconsin, but I think we have some bad weather coming in, either later tonight or tomorrow, from everything that I'm hearing. But it's spring. That's what happens. So, before we get started with everything, I'm going to go ahead and do our 2 spotlights on the missing. Our first one today is a 16-year-old girl. I'm going to probably butcher this name. I know it. Kenia Hester. I hope that's how you say it. Kenia Hester, missing since June 18th, 2024. Next month it'll be a year, guys. Last seen in Clarksville, Tennessee. That's where Seth lives. She's 5 feet tall, 135 pounds, red hair, brown eyes. Obviously, guys, her hair is dyed red in this picture, so, you know, young girls like to change the color of their hair. It could be different. I would think that her natural hair color is black. But if anybody knows anything about her whereabouts or her disappearance, please call the Clarksville Police Department, 911, or 1-800-TBI-FIND. Our next one is Janiyah Adair. Janiah's been missing since February 13th, 2024. She was last seen in Memphis. She's 16 years old, 5 feet 5 inches tall, 114 pounds, black hair, and brown eyes. If anybody knows where Janiyah is or anything about her disappearance, please call the Memphis Police Department, 911, or 1-800-TBI-FIND. All right. So that is it for the spotlight on missing for tonight. You know, remembering that there's going to be always so many more. A lot from Tennessee, guys, a lot. So, we're going to talk about Jack and Lily Sullivan tonight. I have a few different things that I want to show you. We did come across a video where the content creator actually went to Broadcastify and paid for the premium membership to be able to download the dispatch audios for that day on Friday, May 2nd, when they went missing. And there was something in there that really stood out to me, guys. And I wanted to play it for you and see if you're hearing the same thing I'm hearing in this audio. Okay. Because there's no denying it is that day. It is from the dispatch in Lansdowne. So, but before we get into that, I'm just going to check everything here. Raining there again, Ginger? Wow, you guys have gotten a lot of rain. We've had off and on storms the last few days, and I'm over these spring storms at the moment. Yeah, yeah. Fibro flares, yep. Well, I'm glad to hear you're doing better. My sister has fibro, and I understand that that's very painful. She can be walking along, and her legs will just give out on her. Boom, on the ground. It's not a good feeling, I'm sure. Oh, okay. So, the first thing that I want to share with you is an article that I really thought was a good article. Hello, K9. Good to see ya. Simply because it talks about what I believe content creators should be, right? So I'm going to go ahead and read it to you guys, and please share with me what you think of it. It's called The Business Model of Lies, Gossip, and Misinformation About Jack and Lily Sullivan on Social Media. Which really, guys, if you think about it, there's not a whole lot of facts out there yet, right? We heard from Maggie yesterday, who is a local, that says that neighbors are not really talking to police. They're only talking amongst each other. I'm not talking to the public. They're only talking to each other and to the police, right? So where is this misinformation coming from that's out there? So, TikTokers declaring Jack and Lily Sullivan have been found. True crime YouTubers harvesting local news footage, overdubbing it with commentary, and declaring their discovery of huge and disturbing clues. An AI-generated account of the children's Red Rum told the story from beginning, shared on Facebook as the most plausible scenario. Oh, that's strange. Ugh, I haven't seen that one. I don't want to. Our shared horror at the disappearance of 2 children from Lansdowne Station, Pictou County, is being turned into something ugly on social media, profit, and obsession. And guys, what I'm about to read here is absolutely true. The way monetization works is it doesn't matter if the content is accurate. It just matters that it's popular, said Susie Dunn, director of the Law and Technology Institute at Dalhousie University School of Law. So every time somebody views that content, if it's attached to a monetized account, it increases the ability of the user or company to bring in monetization dollars through advertising. This monetization of obsession for information about what happened to Jack and Lily fills the vacuum of a truth that's hard to accept. We may have to wait weeks or years with no guarantee answers will come at all. After 5 days of scouring the woods by hundreds of search and rescue volunteers, canine teams, helicopters, and drones, the children weren't found. Stepfather Daniel Martell told Post Media he believes the 2 children wandered out the sliding door of their rural home on the morning of May 2nd while he and their mother, Malia Brooks Murray, lay in the bedroom with their baby. A police investigation involving Northeast Nova major crime has been working on the case since the day after the children went missing. We're exploring all avenues in this missing persons investigation, said Staff Sergeant Curtis McKinnon of the Pictou County District RCMP in a written statement released Tuesday. We have officers from multiple disciplines dedicated to finding Lily and Jack, including highly trained RCMP major crime and forensic investigators. McKinnick said they are following up to 180 tips from the public and have identified 35 people for formal interviews, including community members and those closest to the children. A 2-day operation by the RCMP's underwater recovery team did not find the children in lakes or ponds around Lansdowne Station. We continue to work day and night on this file, said McKinnon. Like all Nova Scotians, we want answers and we want to know what happened to these children. The waiting is made harder by social media algorithms that learn our interest and feed us more content that keeps us staring at our screens. And there is little to no accountability for whether that content is either true or contributing to the public good. There's actually an economic incentive board, Schulich School of Law professor Michael Karanokolas. I don't know, probably butchered that. For content creators to fill the lack of information with misinformation and for the platforms to let it happen, a business model that has benefited from artificial intelligence or AI. AI can churn out large volumes of content in relatively fluid English with minimal oversight. If it costs a few pennies to make and it makes a few pennies more in advertising revenue, that's a viable business model. Whether it's true or not, and whether it's made by actual people or not, when we click on links or follow social media commentary, we're seeing advertisements, spending more time on social media platforms, and feeding the machine. And it's damaging to our mental health, warned psychologist Simon Sherry. You now have sophisticated algorithms monetizing your attention. Some of the smartest people in the world are targeting your attention by making you feel anxious or outraged, said Sherry. So we see people with excessive involvement with screens, especially social media, and a host of negative consequences. Those consequences include increased anxiety, inattention, and depression that can filter into other facets of our lives. But we're not passive victims in this, caution Sherry. By engaging in obsessive social media discussions, we can become content creators who don't profit financially and suffer harm ourselves while harming others. I doubt the grieving is facilitating by learning every microscopic detail of this tragedy. Instead, what we see online is more or less leering at human misery, said Sherry. This is in no way unique to 2025, whether poetry, novels, or other forms. For a very long time, we have gawked at the dark side of humanity. I think this is the most recent manifestation of it. However, the disappearance of Jack and Lily Sullivan is or isn't resolved. It won't be the last case of social media's unhealthy relationship to tragedy. It's getting worse, not better. The people who run these social media companies are among the wealthiest in the world, said Dunn. We should want social media companies to invest in content moderation to make sure their products add to the social good, not just add to social harm. They are not incentivized to moderate this type of content, so without regulations that would give financial penalties, why would they bother? Both Dunn and Karen Nicholas said social media companies have moved away from moderating their content for what's true and what's harmful in the years following the COVID-19 pandemic. During a 2020 interview with Fox News, Meta Chief Executive Officer Mark Zuckerberg said, I just believe strongly that Facebook shouldn't be the arbiter of truth of everything that people say online. I think in general, private companies shouldn't be, especially these platform companies, shouldn't be in the position of doing that. Are social media companies the postman or the publisher? The postman isn't responsible for what's written on the letters they deliver. The publisher of, say, a newspaper can be sued for publishing defamatory and harmful information. Karen Nicholas cautions that that question is based upon 20th century technology when the news cycle was slow enough and the participants in it could be held accountable. Can a family member of Jack and Lily Sullivan find and sue creators who often exist half a world away for defamation? Holding the platforms liable for the content posted on them by individuals could also have negative consequences for public discourse. the first thing we'd see is a flood of lawsuits. Pick your hostile billionaire who doesn't like criticism. They will start suing the platforms, and platforms will take down rather than fight the lawsuits, said Karenakis. You can talk about Meta and X as bad actors, but making them liable for posts will make it functionally impossible for competitors like Mastodon and Blue Sky to rise up and compete. It will entrench the dominant position of platforms by making it much more expensive to run a platform. Cautioning that regulation of social media companies demanding content moderation is a slippery slope capable of being abused by governments, Karenakis said, that if well drafted, it has the potential to help. In the meantime, Jack and Lily are still missing. The torment over their loss isn't going away, and neither is social media. What do you guys think so far? Let me see what I missed during all that. All right. Are you saying hello to everybody? Hello, Katie. Chemistry Queen, hello, hello. I pray that they find these precious babies. I still have hope, but it's dwindling, unfortunately. Hello, Star Child. I will be right here having breakfast, listening to the birds, and feeling I'm in heaven. This is my resting place. Aw. Thank you for that, Star Child. That's awesome. Accountability. I guess my biggest here is, when does a platform become responsible for their not holding up to the terms of service, in my humble opinion? You know, Noni, I completely agree with you about that, right? 100%. Okay. You guys know that I'm monetized. I'm not going to lie about that because it does cost to go online and make a channel, you know. However, money is not my motivator, okay? These missing children are. And putting out false information, for me, why? You know, it's one of the reasons why I'm not talking about Sebastian Rogers tonight, or last night, or the night before. Why? Because there's nothing to talk about. I'm not going to make up something in order to keep the clicks coming, right? I'm just not. I'm not going to do it, right? And if this, I mean, there's not been a whole lot of stuff coming out in the Jack and Lily case either. But what little there is I can talk about, I will talk about. There's going to come a time when that's not going to happen. Just like what happened with Summer Wells, right? So when there's nothing to talk about, this old granny isn't going to make stuff up. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to do it to get your clicks and views. I don't believe in that. I think it's wrong, right? And yes, I think that, you know, it goes back to when journalism started. There was a sense of ethics and integrity that, and morality that was involved. And that's the way I look at when I'm going to talk about a missing persons case or any crime online, right? I'm going to talk about the truth and the facts and stick to my morals, my integrity, right? My morality, because it's the right thing to do. But having said that, I realize that I'm one of the few people who believe that. And for that reason, that's why I'm growing slow. But that's okay, because I'd rather have people who want to come and hear truth than hear clickbait garbage just to make a buck. No. You never hear me begging for money, anything like that, guys. I won't ever do it. I'll never do it. I don't believe in it. What's important is what I'm talking about on that day, you know. And They couldn't have said it better. In the meantime, Jack and Lily are still missing. Right? In the meantime, Sebastian Rogers is still missing. In the meantime, Summer Wells is still missing. In the meantime, many, many more are still missing. Yeah, reporting the issues being written about does no good. Money means more to platforms, and they more than dollars in regular consumers do to fight a platform. I'll be honest, I have reported a few different things. Nothing's ever come out of it. It was clear violation of YouTube's terms of service. But I have stopped now. I'm not going to do it because it doesn't solve anything. Does not solve anything. It's it's a fine line because in America we do have the right to free speech. But I think we also have the responsibility to speak with integrity and morality. And many people just don't do that. Thank you, Jenny Sue. I appreciate that. Anyone that's been here for a while knows that about me, that I won't make stuff up. Now, when we're talking about a case, that's not to say we don't speculate, because we do. And I think speculation, if done in the right way, can be healthy, and it can maybe lead to answers. But it has to be, you have to be careful with it, right? You can't just run off and, for example, it's speculation if you say, well, it could be one of three things, right? I remember, let's see if I still have it. Not sure if I do. No. But Jennifer Coffindaffer had talked about there were three possibilities in Sebastian Rogers' case, right? Bear with me because I'm going to try to remember what she said. The first one was he walked off. Okay. The second one, I don't remember. But anyway, you see what I'm getting at. One of them was, he was brought out of the house, something like that. Those are all speculation because we don't know the facts, right? What gets speculation into dangerous area is when you take one of those things and you run with it and you add things of your own to make it a full-blown story. Isn't that what they said here in this thing? Let me see what they said. It was right at the beginning. It made me sick to my stomach when I read it. Okay. An AI-generated account of the children's Red Room told its story from being shared on Facebook as the most plausible scenario. That's wrong. That's speculation that has been taken to an extreme. You're insinuating things. You're putting in lies, basically. All to twist a narrative and to have something to say. That's wrong on so many levels. That is wrong. I don't agree with that. Yeah, it's called integrity. That's right. I am too, K9. I'm very selective now. Here's the thing. Here's what maybe some of you don't know. Do you know that even if you hit the dislike button, it still is good for that creator's algorithm? You clicked on it, and then even though you click dislike, it's still good for their algorithm because you went there. I'm just saying. The best way not to promote those is don't click on them at all. If you really don't like someone, stay away from them. I mean, there are people that don't like me, and that's fine. There are people, that don't like that I won't allow hate in my chat. That's fine. They can stay away. I'm happy with that. Just click right on out of here. If you want, go ahead. Go ahead. Give me a thumbs down. It's just going to help my algorithm. Go ahead. You heard unintentional homicide today. Yes, any interaction counts. It's true. Yeah. It is a bit disturbing for AI to come up with ways to harm humans. It is. So, what I usually do, and I'll be honest, so what I do is if I'm going to talk about something, because I'm not very creative at all. So, I'm going to talk about something, I'll go to AI and I'll say, give me a good YouTube title for. And then it gives me several to choose from, and I'll pick one. And I noticed since I've been doing that, I try not to make it too spectacular, too out there. But since I've been doing that, I have been getting more clicks, which is fine. That's great for me, so that I can stay in the algorithm. That's fine. But it's always going to be truthful, right? I'm not going to ask AI to make up a story. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So I thought that was a really great article. I really did. Do I agree with everything they're saying in there? I don't know. I don't think that everybody that's monetized is evil, because I could defend myself in that case, right? But then again, I don't make buku bucks, so I don't really have to worry about it. But oh, so Ginger Girl's mom about Jack and Lily, the unintentional homicide. Yeah. Oh, Star Child, thank you so much. I really, really, really do appreciate that. Let's see here.
Granny wants to thank you all for kindness in the chat. Super stickers, bright and grand, gifts of love we understand.
Memberships you gifted here spread the joy and banish fear. Every super thanks you send warms her heart and ends the end.
Granny cheers with love so true for each special thing you do. Thank you from her heart. You all play a major part.
Thank you. I appreciate that more than you know. All right. So, you heard unintentional homicide about Sebastian. Interesting. Well, that was a speculation, right? Was a speculation. Interesting. I've wondered if something like that didn't happen and he tried to cover it up. But, I mean, we don't know, right, guys? So let's see. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was yesterday I talked about search and rescue not having the funds, right? Which I'll get to at the end if we have time. I'm sure you guys all want to hear the dispatch. Okay, and now, guys, I'm just going to say I'm not a follower of this person. I don't know anything about them. Okay. But I did go to Broadcastify myself. You have to pay a premium to be able to download any archived broadcasts. Okay. Obviously, she paid for that. So her link is in the description below. We're only going to play the part of the video that reveals the broadcasts, okay? And, you know, I encourage you to check her out for yourself, okay? So let's go ahead, try to make it bigger. Okay.
It's in the comments.
Oh, hey, Glenn. Paul, do you have any radio contact with Joe? No, I don't. We're on the Mutual Aid 5, and I haven't. Vickers from URT. Go ahead. Want to meet us back at the boat launch? Yep, we'll do. We'll get to the one. Yep, 10-4. Slow line. No problem. That's Murphy here in 30 Echo 2. We've had success here, and we're going to be contacting the coroner. You can clear us.
Did you guys hear that? We've had success here, and we're going to be contacting the coroner. Now, I want to point out something. May 2nd, between 7:53 p.m. and 8:23 p.m. This is the day that Jack and Lily went missing. Now, I'm going to rewind that again. Just a little bit more. Okay. Let's re-listen to that. Now, guys, you know, this is Broadcastify. This is a legitimate, so I want you to know I'm not trying to spread rumor, okay? This is a legitimate dispatch. Canada, Nova Scotia, Antigonish County, on the day that they went missing, 7:53 p.m., 8:23 p.m.
Echo 2. We've had success here, and we're going to be contacting the coroner. You can clear us from Mutual Aid 5. I'm going back to pick up Dr.
So, what are your thoughts? I can play it again.
Two, we've had success here, and we're going to be contacting the coroner. You can clear us from mutual aid 5. I'm going back to Pickle Dock.
We've had success here. Well, I mean, they found something, right? I don't know what it is that they found, but they did say they're calling the coroner. And that was on May 2nd, guys. Between the hours of 7:53 p.m. and 8:23 p.m. ADT. So when I saw this, when I heard it, I was watching the lab last night and then Chris McDonough, and I so wanted to say something about this, but we've not, we're on the 14th of May here now, So I asked Ginger, because she's from Canada, is it like them to keep this stuff under wraps? Right? Is this where all those rumors came from? Her head was found, blah, 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 right? I mean, it doesn't say, it just says they found success here. And they're going to be calling the coroner. I know, right, Noni? And the thing is, I mean, I don't want to speculate. I don't want to add to any craziness. But this actually happened on dispatch. Okay. So I wanted to share it with you guys to be upfront about what I've heard, right? And when I did go to Broadcastify, I found this actual time stamp of this recording. It just won't let me click on it unless I pay for the premium. So, I mean, you can actually go there to figure this out for yourself. And you can see that she is logged in, right? You have to have an account. You have to log in. And then you have to pay for the premium benefits. I wasn't in a position to do that. So, yeah, to our knowledge, there's not anyone else has been missing in that area, guys. So yeah, I'm just as stunned and confounded as you guys are right now, honestly. Ginger explained to chat what you said to me, that sometimes our CMP will keep things close to the vest until an autopsy's done or whatever. Explain to us how Canada handles that kind of stuff. That is it unusual for there to be 12 days to go by after they found a body and not say anything to the public? Yeah, and the thing is, Melissa, I mean, they kept searching. This was May 2nd. This was the day they went missing. And they kept searching. So you know, was just one found. I mean, I don't, right? It's really difficult to know. And we may never know, right? I I don't know. But we'll see. They keep things quiet until forensics are done, and it's not unusual to keep things from the public. Especially in this high profile case with all the misinformation going on out there, right? Um, it's sad and it's scary, guys. It's really sad. You know, here in America, when remains are found, we it's publicized, isn't it? Right? And they'll say, you know, pending autopsy results, you know, blah blah blah, right? But they tell us when they find them. Let's listen to it one more time.
Two, we've had success here, and we're going to be contacting the coroner. You can clear us from.
And just the way that he said that, listen to the tone of his voice, guys. He doesn't sound. Yeah, just listen to the tone of his voice.
Echo 2. We've had success here, and we're going to be contacting the coroner. You can clear us from mutual aid 5. I'm going.
We've had success here, right? Not a happy, you know, not a happy camper, right? Yeah. And that's true. Ginger brings up a good point. They're searching for many things while they're out there, not just the kids. They're searching for any and all evidence, right? There could be, if the kids were, God forbid, red-rummed with some kind of a weapon, they'll probably be looking for the weapon in the woods, that kind of thing. So might be looking for clothing or the backpack that with the strawberries on it, you know, different things like that. So true, Factory. So true. So true. It's a good scripture. But here's the thing: we're pushing on 1,500 people in on our channel, and I'm fine with that, guys. You know, as long as we continue to grow, a couple every day or 5 or whatever every day, I'm fine. You know, because we're getting the right kind, we're attracting the right kinds of people, and that's what I like. Because we're making this a safe place for people to come to. That's a good point too. It may not be a whole body, but the coroner only comes for human remains. They're not going to leave partial remains out there. They're going to have the coroner come. Could it have been from years ago? The thing is the words that he used and it being the same day, right? We've had success here. To me, that's very telling, right? I'm sure, you could tell by the tone of his voice, using the word success wasn't easy for him, right? Because that's not success, right? But he's trying to let home office know that they've got something there, right? Without alerting everybody. Yeah. Yep. You know, are they right? The word success. Yeah. 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 And, I mean, he was probably shook. He's trying to talk in code, you know, to say it without really saying it. And, that word popped in his head. I don't think he meant anybody, you know. Well, they haven't let us know, Star Child. We don't know. And yes, that goes along with, was it Tuesday that they had, so Friday they were missing. Tuesday is when they had the press conference, I believe, right, Ginger? And that is when that officer stated that they were not alive, in his opinion. So, um, yeah. Do you see what I'm talking about, guys? Yeah. And from day 2, this was a criminal investigation. And this was in the evening, guys, that this dispatch went out. So let me see. Yeah, Noni, that's exactly what I was thinking too. LE may suspect who may be more responsible than the other, if that's the case. So I can see where they may be able to use the knowledge they have along with one person against the other to get the truth. Yep. And remember that one of the briefings, was it the same day? Ginger, help me with this. Was it the next day that Mom left? In the middle of the briefing? That's exactly where I was going with it. They say the mother was told something at that briefing that greatly upset her. And she had to go to the ambulance. Yeah, Star Child. Have they finally stated it's a serial predator? Because I know they didn't believe it was the last time I do morning news clips, and I talked about it on one of my morning news clips. At the time, there was 8 bodies. How many are there now? Yes, Noni. That's when the mother returned home to her parents. Was this out today? No. see. This content creator put it out yesterday. So she actually got it from Broadcastify and paid for the downloads. Yeah. She went to the ambulance and then she was whisked away with the baby without talking to anybody. Yes. So I knew what you meant, Ginger. So this just makes things, this dispatch brings things to a little bit clearer light in my head about why mom got upset, why she left, because there's been a lot of speculation around that, right? Guys, we don't know who's responsible in this case. We know that Mr. Yummy suspects mom. He's got some red flags on stepdad. I just have a gut feeling about stepdad, but that's nothing that I can talk factual about. So not going to go there. We don't know who did this, but I do believe it was familial, meaning family. Yes, the mom was told not to talk to others and to close down her social media. He said, I'm at 302. Is that their address? So I went, no, their address is 1407 Gerlach Road. But when you look at the road here, I think I'd have to go out because there was a number like right in here that on Google Maps that said 3 something, I believe. Now this on Google Maps, this was taken in September of 2018. The house looks a little bit cleaner. So it's actually before mom was living there. And some people were asking me about telephone poles. There you go, guys. I don't know about internet. I don't, but I mean, we don't know because I don't think it almost doesn't even look like anybody's living here. But I mean, I don't know. And oh, there it is, 407. It's a 1407 Gerlach Road. So that is the house, right? When the boys took over the property, it went downhill. Yeah, because I have pictures. Let's see. Did I cue them up? I might not have. Let me cue them up for you. I took a few. A couple different ones that were online. The top-down view of the place now. What a difference. Oh my gosh. And the backyard. compared to the view in 2018. Looks like they've cleaned out more of the yard, right? Oh, yeah. It looks like they've cleaned out more of the yard, and just to throw junk there. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, but so let me look at those pictures. I can't really tell. I guess maybe this picture. Oh, yeah, they definitely cleaned out more of the front yard, right? And the green isn't around the house. They changed that to what, gray? Yeah, so they definitely cleaned out more around the house, only to put more junk in it. Oh, thank you, Star Child. That's so sweet. If anybody received their Granny's Crime Buster membership, please thank Star Child for that. That's awesome. And my doggy Lacey's going to thank you for that. So let's see what I missed. So I'm going to back out of this, right? I'm going to zoom out. Because it seemed like maybe it was the top-down view. I don't know how to get there. Well, 302, I mean, that could have been down the highway a little bit. Remember, stepdad left for a while. Oh, hey. There's your satellite dish, Ginger. Okay. Yeah. And, it's very possible that those kids didn't go missing on Friday, but they were actually missing since Wednesday. Yeah. I'm sure they didn't, if family did this, I'm sure they didn't put it right out in the backyard, right? I know. What's with all the dirty spare mattresses? Bed bugs? So you get bed bugs, you throw out the mattress? Well, excuse me, that doesn't work. Because if you put a new mattress in, you're just gonna. I mean, I don't know. That's a speculation, right? And they did have a hurricane hit them. I'm sorry. But I was going to say it does look like a hurricane hit them, but yes, they did have a hurricane. The hurricane could have taken down all the trees. Yeah. Simon and Bailey said howdy. Lacey, Simon and Bailey says howdy. She was looking at me like I'm stupid. uh, Thanks. I was looking for that because Mr. Pokemon turned in a wireless router to the investigators. And for those who are new here tonight that were not here last night, guys, Mr. Pokemon is the stepdad, Daniel Martell. He has a YouTube channel. It's simply Daniel Martell, but it's all about Pokemon cards. So that's why Ginger calls him Mr. Pokemon. The 302. Okay, so let's put it in here. .302. Garliac Road. Not coming up. How do you spell that Garliac? Gair. LOCH. That's weird. So it doesn't seem to have a 302. So I'm wondering if the 302 was a mile marker. 302 mile marker. Garliac Road, Nova Scotia. I'm trying to find the family home again. I don't remember how I found it the first time. That's why I left it there. But anyway, there's a 302 mile marker. Looks like it might be a ways down from where the home was. It's lands down lake, so the home's got to be. in here somewhere. It was 1407, right? Yeah. Okay, so that 302 was down here somewhere, guys. Mile marker. So whoever took the body or bodies, those kids didn't walk all that way. So here's my question. I'm exactly why would Lily take a backpack? Um, did those kids get dropped off from school and then were taken forever? And the backpack would have been with. Yeah, my background, right? Yeah, no flowers there. Or Lily got ready to go to school with her backpack. Another good thought. No, but there were two black ducks that were painted and heat signatures. So no mannequin in this case, but we have two black ducks. I think they were concrete. And because they were painted black, they absorbed the heat. And the heat signature, I don't know if it was the drone or the helicopter picked them up. And they were sitting right by the water. Some water somewhere. We got ducks and mannequins going on. Two different cases. You thought the officers said they were by a boat launch area. Gotcha. Well, so is this a boat launch area? How do you get to the lake? This is the lake. This is Lansdowne Lake. I mean, I don't see that you're able to launch a boat off of that road there. Oh, no, that's far away. The only way to get to that lake, in my opinion, is to go up here. Is that a house? Oh, wait. Right here. This is 1813, 289. That would get you to that lake. I don't know. I'm trying, guys, but it's just 302 could be the search grid area, behind trees, dirt path, everything there. It is some beautiful property, yes. They could have put evidence in it to dispose of the kids. Yes, they could have. You could have used a backpack for that. One thing I thought, if they were walking in the road and someone hit them and scooped them up to get rid of bodies, like Athena Strand, if anyone remembers her case. But there was no scent after the driveway. Yeah, it exactly. I remember hearing that dispatch and thinking, oh, how awful for those guys, right? Yeah, I think the grid search numbers sound more appropriate, or, like I said, a mile marker. They have mile markers in Canada, Ginger. I mean, I don't know. The only thing I can think of, Cheryl, would be that um, if maybe she was being a good big sister and packed some snacks and some water in her backpack for her little brother. I don't know. I could see little kids doing that. When was the last time we had proof of life? That's a good question. The party? Well, we don't know for sure that the party happened. See, that's another rumor. And I'm not going to run with it as a fact because we don't have confirmation from law enforcement. They have mile markers everywhere and property markers as well. Gotcha. Yes, so the property marker 1407 was out at the property. But I have heard police in this area say, I'm at the 302, for example, and they're meaning the mile marker. I'm at the 302 on, for example, 289. So that's what that road is. Garlic Road. Yeah. Um, the thing that bothers me is just like in Sebastian's case, there's no scent of them walking off, guys. You can't get past that. I mean, is it a possibility that the dogs wouldn't pick it up? I suppose, but don't you think that that's rare? I mean, they did sniff them up to the driveway. They didn't sniff them out in the woods where they were searching. So, I just think that that's rare. It's kind of like Sebastian. No actual footage on camera seeing him walking around in that neighborhood at all. At all. No cameras picked him up. No dog sent to track him. And you kind of got the same thing here. So, was Lily poking her head in the bedroom, waiting for one of the adults to walk her to the end of the driveway to meet the bus? Did the brothers show up at the back door and lure them out? And there's all kinds of things, right? There's so many things that could have happened. But if we're going to take, I mean, do we take the Broadcastify dispatch as fact? I mean, it was said, right? But what does it mean? I mean, you know, if I were a reporter standing at a future press conference with law enforcement, I would say to them, what did it mean when you said we have success here? We're going to have to call the coroner in. I mean, I'd be questioning them on that, right? Hello, Neural. Someone could have picked them up, brought them home, and don't have TV and wanted children of their own, just an off-the-wall theory. So here's what I'm going to show you guys. Of course, it's not going to go to where I want it to go. When you go down the road, it becomes a little bit more populated than the area that they're at. I don't even know which way I am now, but okay. There. So this is where they live, okay? When you go down here, it starts getting more populated. See this? So that is one of the things that I noticed. Look at that. I mean, it's still rural, don't get me wrong, but it does become a little bit more populated, okay? So that was something that I was noticing when I was looking for their house. Again, it's not a city by any means, right? Not at all. But you can tell that there are more homes. It gets a little bit more populated the further down that you go. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, sent to the end of the driveway, which is where the bus picked them up every day from school. I'd be asking questions too. Yep, definitely. I saw a true crime story where they brought dogs and the guy ended up confessing and the dogs never picked up the dead body under his floorboard. Well, how professional were those dogs would be my question. Because whenever I have gone to stunt dogs, cadaver dogs training sites, they are incredible. They can even smell cadavers in water by being on top of a boat. That's crazy, guys. Yeah. But if they took the kids, I mean, wouldn't they turn them over? I'm just saying. They have property standards there. Why didn't the neighbor report that property as an eyesore and have it cleaned up? Exactly, because it sure don't look the way it does now. Back in 2018. Well, so in my opinion, okay, so go back to the dispatch call, right? Let's listen to it one more time.
That's Murphy here in 30 Echo 2. We've had success here, and we're going to be contacting the coroner.
Okay, Murphy here in 302. To me, that sounds like maybe the unit of the vehicle. Murphy here in 302. Right? That sounds to me like because they have unit numbers for their vehicles.
You can clear us for mutual aid 5. I'm going back to pick us up.
So, we've had success here. We're going to call in the coroner. Okay. Then the next thing we know, Mom and stepdad are getting a briefing. Mom gets highly upset, goes to the ambulance, and then is taken away, told to be quiet, don't say anything, and shut down her social media. So that makes sense to me. Why she would have gotten upset if this is part of what she learned in that briefing. I'm just saying. I heard a call in just before the show, and the lady was from Canada, and they said they know, but they have locked it completely down as far as releasing information until they finish their investigation. There you go. Goes back to what Ginger said, that until they get forensics back, until they have figured out what is going on, they're not going to release it to the public. No, it stops after that and goes on to someone else calling in. K9. So, but you still have stepdad out here still searching. So he's not been told anything. Or was he? I mean, I don't know. I don't know, guys. Yeah, I'll play it again for you.
Here in 30 Echo 2. We've had success here, and we're going to be contacting the coroner. You can clear us for mutual aid 5.
We've had success here, and we're going to be contacting the coroner. Exact words. And Guys, this is an actual dispatch on May 2nd, the day that those kids were reported missing. Now keep in mind they could have been gone since Wednesday, 2 days prior. So this is actual evidence, right? Well, Neuro, this is Broadcastify. This is actual dispatch from their county, public safety, on May 2nd, 7:53 p.m. to 8:23 p.m. ADT, on the day that Jack and Lily went missing, their county in Nova Scotia. So, as far as we can tell, they found something, right? They found something. We just don't know what, but enough to call a coroner. And we also know that Mom got upset in the middle of a briefing and left and went to the ambulance and then was taken away. So, and from everything that we have heard, Ginger herself is from Canada. Until forensics are complete, and there was a call in just before the show. K9 said this. The lady was from Canada, and they said they know, but they have locked it completely down as far as releasing information until they finish their investigation, which would mean forensics, everything else, right? So, yes, I mean, in my opinion, that's what it sounds like to me. They haven't said that exactly, but this is evidence, guys. This is actual dispatch from that county on the day that those two kids went missing. I don't know how any plainer I could make that, right? So exactly, Noni. Yeah. And it's hard not to run wild and rampant and speculate, right? It's hard. But we have to. We have to refrain from doing that. They didn't say remain. They said they found success and they'll be calling the coroner. So let's remember that, guys. Let's not put words in their mouths. I'll play it again for you, okay?
We've had success here, and we're going to be contacting the coroner. You can clear us from mutual aid 5.
We've had success here, and we're going to be contacting the coroner. Okay? So, he's talking in code because he's trying not to say it out loud for the whole county to hear, right? Yeah, and that person also said it could be a while. Exactly. Well, it's like Ginger said earlier, did they only find one at that time? Did they? I think she shuts it off at that point. And I didn't pay for that. So let me see.
I'm going back to pick up.
So this was the broadcast channel where they were doing the search and they're looking for the two missing kids. Later, there's heat signatures that they find. They find out that the heat signatures are because of painted black.
Heat signatures. One appears like it could be small object sitting. Just two heat signatures sitting close together near the water. Roger. Helmet drone team is also landing. We're going to do a battery swap out. Copy that. And this is 207. Go ahead, 207. 207 is completed its tasking. Requesting transport back to base from last known position. Over. Okay, let's try to see where you are. Okay, you're right on the highway, are you? As far as I know, there is nobody up there besides that team, and they're on the south side too, so they've seen you guys. They just tell me before you fly again, make sure you clean the lens. Copy that. We have start command task 121 over. To go.
And guys, this is at 11:51 p.m. to 12:21 a.m. on the 3rd. Okay, so it's May 2nd into May 3rd, ADT. And this is where they found those dogs. And so they must have had heat signatures lying over.
Did any of the kids have stickers on their clothing or backpacks over? Repeat that again. Do we know if any of the kids had like stickers on their backpacks? We found a little shiny star sticker over here by the bridge. Over. Stand by. That's on my quick man. It's like a holographic little star over. Task 121. Roger. Okay, copy that. I don't have I don't know exactly where you are. What does it give us a GPS reading where you're at?
More than a week later, and there's still no sign of 6-year-old Lily.
Okay. So that's it for that one.
That's all. Success here.
That's all she shared. So yes, they did say they were going to specialized areas. Well, if it was an animal, they're not going to call in the coroner. Could it have been somebody else? Yes. Yes. Clear and yeah, they are very clear and professional, aren't they? So, right. I mean, we don't know. All we know is that this is the actual dispatch from that, right? You know, so I guess my thought is that until law enforcement comes out and says something, we don't know, right? We don't know what we don't know. I am certain that people in that area, especially being so rural, probably have scanners and listen to this. So, no, they weren't talking about finding a backpack. They were talking about, did the kids carry backpacks? And then they asked, because they found a hologram star. So they found a sticker. Yeah, no problem, Katie. You know, I'm always wanting to get information out, but I'm a stickler for showing you accurate information, right? I'm not going to give you garbage. Just not going to happen. You know, when it's an actual broadcast of a dispatch, that's facts, right? That's real-time facts. So I wanted to share that with you. Who knows what it'll mean to us when everything is said and done. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Ginger. Granny is just putting out the facts we find. What it means, that is to be determined when they give us more information, right? I'm just sharing the facts that we're finding is all I'm doing. Actual real-time dispatch that happened on May 2nd into May 3rd, right? 2 ducks found and not real one. And success, and they're calling in a coroner. So that's all we know. That's all we know right now. But in the meantime, these 2 precious little children are still missing. Right? They're still missing. Or maybe they aren't. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to know, right? No, we don't know the location of their findings. They said that they was Murphy in 302, and I think he was talking about his vehicle number. So he didn't say where they were. Gotcha. All right. So, my grannyism for today. A man who is all theory is like a rudderless ship on a shoreless sea. Theories and speculations may be indulged in with safety only as long as they are based on facts that we can go back to at all times and know that we are on solid ground. Elisha Gray. This to me summed up what we heard today, right? When we're talking about speculation and theory, right? And about things that just are running rampant, right? Because the last thing I'm going to tell you is that they found the kids. All I'm going to tell you is that dispatch said they had success and they were going to contact a coroner. We don't know what that means, right? A man who is all theory is like a rudderless ship on a shoreless sea. To me, that is someone who takes information like what I just gave you and says, oh, the kids were found. Oh, they found a head. Oh, they were found. Right? Rudderless ship on a shoreless sea. Theories and speculations may be indulged in with safety only as long as they are based on facts that we can go back to at all times and know that we are on solid ground. Words to live by right there. I don't think that that's actually what they're saying. That's what the closed caption thinks they're saying. I tried to make out what they were saying and I couldn't understand it. No, so they're trying to be cleared from something, but I don't know what that meant. Thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate that. You got a niece who lives there? Gotcha. Yeah. So guys, I just want to encourage you, when people put out information, you know, don't, you know, I will never be afraid to have, I will never be offended if you ask me where I got something, you know, blah, 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 right? Because I'm going to always tell you where I got it from. And I usually only try to take from credible sources, right? As I said, I do not follow Salty Lunatics, but she is the one that got this information and paid for it in Broadcastify. So I trust that information because it came from a legitimate source, the Dispatch. Exactly, Ginger. The only fact we have here is that an officer found success in something and called a coroner. That's a fact. The other fact is that Mom got upset during one of their briefings, left in the middle of the briefing, which people are making a big deal about, guys. What if she was told this information? And we don't know. That'd be enough to be upsetting, right? That's a fact as well. So theories and speculations may be indulged in with safety, only as long as they are based on facts that we can go back to at all times. So, like I said, I don't know who that person is, but I haven't watched them. I'm just saying that she went the extra mile to get that information. She paid for it. And kudos to her for getting that information, right? If you want to check her out, feel free, right? Just remember this quote, guys, because it's something that I think we should all remember as we're looking at these cases. All right, so that's all I have for tonight, guys. I want to thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. Please, if you haven't already, hit the like button on your way out. And we'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granniescrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.